Hi there. This is a picture I took from Facebook yesterday, one of my older ones, and saved it to my iPad. I did have this music on yesterday, but I couldn't get to do a video till the end of the day, and that's the way it goes. I just do it whenever it feels like I've got an opportunity to do it, or, you know, if it's not the right moment, it's not the right moment. But I want to talk about, that's what I want to talk about. I want to talk about something that I talk about quite regular, and I have to keep repeating it because, there's a lot of people that in the religious kind of field and the spiritual community as well, and in life, they give their power away. They give their power away. Like, for example, if they're into witchcraft, they'll give all the power to this book. If they're into spirituality, they'll give their power to some separate healer or a crystal or something, necklace or something. If it's religion, they'll give power to a separate God or Jesus. But what did Jesus say? The kingdom of heaven is within you. Buddha said, be here now. You see, the truth of the matter is, be here now and all within you is all the same thing. I've realised from this unexpected spiritual awakening, what I started to get shown was, from what they call oversoul, the higher consciousness, was that the me is not the separate experience, but everything has to come from nothingness. Meaning that means that you are that. The nothingness would be all of infinity, meaning infinite consciousness. And that's the real self. And when you realize that you're everything, you realize, oh my God, I am God. God is not separate to me, I am God. And then I started to see myself, I am enough because I am infinity. You're both the problem and the solution. But when you get people that say, oh, I need this crystal has all the power, Allah has all the power, Jesus has all the power, I have no power, that's telling yourself that you're not good enough. Everything that you say is a suggestion, basically. Everything. And when you're saying stuff like that, that's suggesting to yourself, even if you heal something in your life, you will create a bigger problem. And that bigger problem is that you're telling yourself that you're not good enough. You know? I seen this woman on London Real. It's a program on YouTube, and she said that she says to herself every day, "I am enough," and that's what I say now. I know it. I don't have to say it. But this is it's maybe a misunderstanding, I think, of reality. I think what happened is, I believe what David Icke said, that there was a perceptual takeover. Because you wouldn't just think that you're separate and no power for no reason. And so what's happening just now is like this picture. There's an awakening going on. And I believe this awakening isn't just with this planet. I believe that we are awakening, like I've seen people say it, that we are awakening to become one with a galactic federation or a galactic family. But I believe that this galactic family might be very, very ascended. So I think that we have to work very hard to my imagination's just saying that. I'm not saying it's true. They might not be that more advanced. But I think we need to act as if they are, just in case, because it would be good to be part of something like that. And so that's what the spiritual awakening on Earth is, not just for Earth, I believe. I believe it's to connect us with higher beings and so that we're one with this galactic federation. But I don't think it can happen unless we evolve enough. But another thing is, there are no there are no beings that are like super light beings and you're like this separate third dimensional human. That's an illusion. If you're the infinity, that means you are the light being and you're also the dark being. That's what Jesus Christ said when he said, I am Lucifer. What he meant was that he's the dark and the light, because the two are one. You see, if you're the infinity, that means everything is you, all comes from you, and you're the source. It's like if you observe it, if you sit in a cafe or something, and you got no one there, you observe your thoughts, you'll notice that you're not thinking them, you're receiving them. And the awareness is the orchestrator behind it all, you see. The infinite consciousness. And that's the real self. So you're not your name, your labels, your religious background, or any things that you're told you are. That's your experiences that you're currently going through. Just a life experience, and quite short as well. But the real self is infinity, everything. And if you think of it, it would make sense that all life would come from, if it all must come from nothing, that means all of infinity. That means that's what you are. And if you look at yourself that way, that is a very self-empowering way to look at yourself, even if it isn't true. And that's a lot better than thinking, oh, I am separate, I have no power, this God has all the power over me. That's a very self-destructive thought. That's a very self-destructive idea, to suggest that to yourself, that you're not enough. But you are enough. You are enough, and it's a very self-empowering thing, like I say, to do that. And I just feel that this is an important message. See, that's the thing, we are all witches and wizards. And you have infinite power, like I'm saying. But it's just that, see, everything is perception. And that's what I was saying the other day about 5G, that 5G operates on the human consciousness, which is a perceptual state. How do people do magical things? And love is the core of everything, and that is the core of all alchemy. But it's all to do with perception. Awakening, what this unexpected spiritual awakening did for me is it changed the perception. It made me realize that, oh my God, there's endless ways to look at things. There's infinite ways to do things if you think about it. There is, isn't there? And we're basing our opinions on one angle that we're looking from. And this is how the system controls people. It gets them to believe in this right or wrong, when that idea of right and wrong is one possibility. And there's over 7 billion, well 7.8 billion, but I'm not very good with numbers, so I don't know what the 0.8 means. But a lot of people anyway. You know, I think numbers and all that stuff is just to distract us. I think everything is just nothing. And the nothing is just awareness, that's it. That's all we are, just awareness. Just a state of being aware. And all the other stuff is just made up. Anything that comes after awareness, after you got awareness on a planet, is made up by someone. Even if it's science and they've made up some machinery, they've still made it up. Even if it's fact or not, they've made it up. The problem is when we start programming ourselves by repeating all this stuff. And not all of it is facts. You know, so stop repeating it and understand that all the power is within you. What I do is, I'm very aware that when I'm talking on multidimensional levels. I'm basically giving messages, and my message that I'm giving is a channeled message from Source, which is within everyone, and it's it's meeting different levels of perception. And because the human only operates on one level of perception, they go by your words. They don't go by feeling. See, that is the real intelligence as well. With this global awakening, it's feeling. And that is heart intelligence. And heart intelligence is scientifically proven. Now, this is what happened to me when I started going through this spiritual awakening. When I was in school growing up, I was the idiot. People couldn't believe how stupid I was, how I couldn't get anything right, or and they said, "Oh, he's got ADHD." But I saw a thing the other day on YouTube, I think it was, about ADHD, and they reckon that ADHD people are super powerful beings, but they're being suppressed on purpose by the system. I believe that. My mum says to me that I'm all calm now. That's because it's just a different perception I've got now. That's it. Everything's just a perception. Your perception alters your frequencies, your emotion, and the emotion, the electric energy determines what illnesses you have or what illnesses you won't have. That's the cure to all illness, but it takes work. You have to. I work on this path every single day. I've still got a cold, as you can see, but I'm still inspired. It's not really getting me down or nothing. Nothing does. I used to be very depressed. I haven't had depression for nearly 5 years now. But that's it. Your power, when you're saying, like, this power is in this crystal or the separate person, that's giving your power away. That's not a good thing to do. People don't realize that everything you think and say is feeding you something, and you're suggesting that to yourself. You're suggesting that you're not good enough. And this awakening showed me to not look like that, to look from the angle that I am infinity. Because it's true, everything has to come from nothing at some stage. And it's crazy when you get religious people arguing with this, but it's common sense to see that everything has to come from nothing. It's like, if you're going out for the night, at some stage it's not even a thought. You know what I mean? So nothing at some stage, but if that's true, you would never experience the nothing, because it doesn't exist. So like I say, all that exists is just awareness, and everything else is made up. And I'll end on this line by Steve Jobs: everything is made up by people who are no more smarter than you. And I'm just going to end it there. Thank you very much for watching. Thank you.